Welcome to Soft Talk. Today's presentation is titled Welcome to a New World Order. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request you to subscribe to it, comment on our presentation, and press that like button. We are trying quite hard to promote citizen journalism, and every support, every like, every subscription, every comment counts. So please subscribe to our channel. Stay with us through thick and thin. Support citizen journalism. With this message, let me begin. Today I'm talking about the 25th Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit that is currently underway in China. While the 25th Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit is underway in Tianjin, the business hub of China. China, it is the land of Confucius, Sun Tzu, Laozi, and Lu Xun, and it is also the land of Mansarovar and Kailash, the famous pilgrimage sites for Sanatan Hindus, Buddhists, Kirat, Jain, and several other Eastern religions in particular, and Bon also. Yeah, this land, this Kailash, Mount Kailash, is considered quite sacred in our literature, in our ancient scriptures. It is the abode of uh, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. At a time when this jamboree is underway, thousands of kilometers away from the capital of Nepal, where I'm currently based, I wish to turn back. I'm busy, in fact, turning back the time-worn pages of some scripture, that is Jaya. Jaya is also called Mahabharat. It is widely popular as Mahabharat, but I wish to call it Jaya in this episode. I'm busy turning back the pages, the time-worn pages of the epic Jaya in this laid-back capital of an ancient nation turned into a banana republic of sorts amid global entropy. In a hopeless bid to understand this day and age better. A regressive move, isn't it? Then so be it. Let me borrow a bit from a chapter of this voluminous scripture from Dwapar Yug. By the way, this Dwapar Yug precedes the current age, that is the Kaliyug, in which we are living. Okay, you see, it makes sense to turn back the pages of history, doesn't it? When the present has not much to offer. On behalf of five Pandav brothers, we have this tendency of calling yoga, Pandavas, karmas. But why do we do that? Like it's a Sanskrit word, and let it be spelled, let it be pronounced the way uh, it is pronounced in Sanskrit. So I stick with Pandav, all right? Okay, on behalf of five Pandav brothers, a humble Krishna visits King Dhrishtarashtra, the head of the Kauravs, at his palace in Indraprastha. There was this clan called Kuru, and Kaurava is the derivative of that clan. They are the descendants of Kuru. Okay. In fact, the Pandavs themselves are also Kaurav. because they share the same lineage, but then they borrow their name after their father, that is Pandu. Uh, Back to the presentation. The flute-wielding cowherd king of the Yadavs has a peace offer. This at a time when a war between the Pandavs and their cousin brother Kauravs appears increasingly inevitable. This uh, Krishna asks for 5 villages for the Pandavs, and even Dhritarashtra, though not quite accommodated, though not quite accommodative of the concerns of the Pandavs, which are the sons of Dhritarashtra's younger brother Pandu, hence the name Pandav. Okay, uh, the king Dhritarashtra also appears willing to strike a deal with the Pandavs for obvious reasons, to avoid bloodshed, to just usher in peace, because uh, there is a looming threat of a war. Okay, but Duryodhan comes in the way. Duryodhan is the eldest son of Dhritarashtra. This fellow, this arrogant fellow, rejects the peace offer from Lord Krishna outright, and declares that only a war should decide who gets what. Okay, no peace offer, no peace needs necessary. Only let a war decide who gets how much of land and all that. A blind king, that is Dhritarashtra, enfeebled further by his unconditional love for his children, for his sons. Duryodhan, in particular, is unable to turn back the tide. The king is unable to turn back the tide that culminates in the battle of Kurukshetra. The rest, as they say, is history. uh, as the Kurukshetra becomes a graveyard of Kshatriya and other warrior kings as well as soldiers. I'm talking about the epic Jai, but the context is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. That's why I have pictures from that conclave in the background. Uh, Around 7,167 kilometers from the summit venue, that is Tianjin in China, at a hip and happening Tianjin, a quaint, vast rural municipality, a quaint, vast rural municipality sits on the lap of Parvat in Darchula district in Nepal, approximately 525 kilometer. At approximately 525 kilometers, that is air distance from Kathmandu, this vast rural municipality is 525 kilometers of air distance from Kathmandu, as a Google search shows. The federal capital, Kathmandu, is the federal capital of Nepal. This vast rural municipality, this quaint valley, is faintly aware of the goings on in the immediate neighborhood and beyond. Apparently, the level of grim awareness increases whenever the old wounds of the dismembered nation. This grim awareness This level of grim awareness increases in Beas Valley uh, of this dismembered nation. whenever the old wounds of this dismembered nation fester during, in particular, border disputes, giving the inhabitants of the Kalapani, Lipulek, Limpiadhura region fresh hassles, as these people have to face neverly officialdom and security apparatuses in their daily lives, in their daily struggles for a living. According to some lores, according to some ancient tales, it is in this very place that Vyas Rishi, the grandfather of both Kauravs and the Pandavs, meditated in this sacred place, and he jotted down the epic, while other lords point out that the sage did it all in Vyas municipality in Tanahon district of western Nepal. This Vyas Rishi, this enlightened being, also subdivided the Ved into four different tones, that is Rig Ved, Samaved, Yajurved, and Atharvaved. The province of Sudur Paschim, of which Darchula district forms a part, is indeed a paradise full of lures and beautiful attractions of historic importance, like the Surma Sarovar and Himalayan peaks such as Api, Nampa, Saipa, and Parvat. Lipu Lake that lies within this region is an all-weather gateway to Tibet, with which Nepal has historic trade and cultural ties, and which is home to centers of faith like Mount Kailash, the Mansarovar Lake, uh, and these are like centers of faith for lakhs of Sanatan Hindus, Buddhist, Kirat, Bon, and Jain devotees. Nepal has been consistent in her claims over the decades that the Kalapani Lipulek Limpiadhura region belongs to her. While claiming that land, Nepal has often cited the Treaty of Sugauli maps issued during the British rule, old coins, banknotes, land tax payment papers, accounts of government officials who visited the area, and national census conducted during the Panchayat regime, during the Panchayat rule. Historic accounts point out that a band of Indian troops sought refuge in the region after the routing in the 1962 war with China, and then the regime, at that time, the Panchayat regime in Nepal granted them permission temporarily, given that it would have been against Raj Dharma to deny such a request. However, when the Kirtinidhi Vista government sought the removal of Indo-Tibetan border police posts established on our northern frontiers, apparently to keep a tab on our northern neighbor following a successful communist revolution there, all ITBPs, that is Indo-Tibetan border police posts, they went back home, except for this one. In the course of time, they have only bolstered their presence, even as our borders with the dear neighbor look like faint pencil lines. These borders with our southern neighbor look like faint pencil lines drawn on a piece of paper with a giant eraser moving menacingly and freely to erase them all. It's a scary picture, isn't it? After the bitter episode of the 60s, in the wake of Sino Indian hostilities, A 2015 Sino-Indian trade deal came a haunting, followed by a renewed deal last month that has given an impression that the two of Nepal's neighbors are bent on strengthening their ties with utter disregard for our territorial claims and security concerns. While New Delhi has admitted that it is a disputed territory, this Kalapani Lipulek Limpiadhura region is a disputed territory. New Delhi has conceded that it is a disputed territory, while Nepal has been claiming, saying all along, based on historic proof, that the land belongs to her. This admission on the part of New Delhi has not stopped her from building a road through the disputed area, effectively joining Uttarakhand with Tibet. Thanks to the trade deals, there's a growing feeling in Nepal that China, considered a bit more sensitive to our interests, does not care much about our sensitivities either. While the elephant and the dragon are enjoying a dance, a quaint Nepal, located on a seismic fault zone, is quaking, marking yet another exciting episode in the great Himalayan game. Welcome to the Asian century. Welcome to a new world order. With this, I have come to the end of this program. Thank you for uh, watching this presentation. Thank you for listening.